Go on my Facebook page, and then on my Facebook page, I should be live.
But I don't have Facebook and I don't have internet connection.
You don't have Facebook?
I remove from my phone.
I can do it.
Yeah. Too much trouble? You're live, we're building an audience for you. Oh, yeah. So now, we're live, yeah. So we just did a class on ruchi, on taste, and what we learned is that the next stage, called the sakti, which is attachment, ruchi is actually part of that stage, but Rupa Goswami, he divided them into two stages. Is it working, or is it freezing, or what? He divided them into two stages, and ruchi means that we're attached to the service, and the sakti means we're attached to the person we're serving. So in other words, we're attached to Krishna more than we're attached to the service. So I'm cooking for Krishna and I'm attached to cooking. In the stage of ruchi, I'll have so much attachment for cooking for Krishna that I'll never cook for anybody else. I'll never want to cook for anyone else but Krishna. And I'll relish it tremendously. In the stage of a sakti, I'll be attached to the person. It's not the activity, but it's the person Krishna that I'm attached to. So that's the idea. So the stage, it's also described that the stage of ruchi, on that stage, you have so much attraction for Krishna that sometimes when you're chanting or doing service, you actually forget who you are. It's just like it's a noticeably stronger stage of taste than previously, and it's noticeable, and the result is just a disinterest. Like you really like to chant, you really like to hear, you really like to serve. You just like everything about Krishna consciousness. You like. And everything that's not Krishna conscious, you don't like. That's the stage of ruchi. Now, the thing is that in coming to the stage of ruchi, the best way I could describe it is like, think of ruchi like raining down on the lower stages, but ruchi is like the tank. So in lower stages there's a raining down of taste, but ruchi is the stage where the taste is always there. And before you get to the stage of ruchi, taste may come and go. So some days your chanting will be great and some days it won't. The stage of ruchi, there'll always be a taste because your senses are purified enough. So wouldn't that be nice? That every day you chanted, you relished. Every day you read Bhagavatam, you relished. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like for us, we have to make an effort, isn't it? To really get the most out of the holy name. We really have to make an effort. But in the stage of ruchi, it's just always tasteful. You always like it. It's like, before I was a devotee, I didn't like spinach, but when I became a devotee, because the way it was cooked and spiced, I liked it. So you could say I came to the stage of ruchi for spinach. Now I always like it. It's not that I don't like it or have to force myself. Some days it tastes good, some days it doesn't. It always tastes good. And then we had read last week that ruchi, there are two kinds of ruchi. One kind of ruchi is where materially something is nice, and you have a taste because it's nice. As you have a taste, let's say you have a taste for Bhagavatam, but unless it's being presented by a good speaker, it's not relishable. Or you have a taste for the holy name, but unless someone is chanting nicely, they're good musicians, mridanga players good, contra players are good, it's sweet, you may not relish it. So that's considered an impurity. It's not completely pure yet. So that's something to be aware of, that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said, if I'm in kirtan and I walk out because I don't like that kirtan leader, because for whatever reason, I don't like his melody. I mean, there are cases when sometimes a kirtan leader is very much about himself, and we may experience that. But he's talking about a sincere devotee. A sincere devotee's chanting, and there's an impurity there. And we feel it, we don't like it, whatever. He said that's an impurity. So the stage of ruchi it comes after the stage of nishta, where most of our anarthas have been removed. And so it's very special. And it's something really to look forward to. And earlier in class today, many of you missed the class, but earlier in class today, we were talking about how ruchi is like this huge payoff in Krishna consciousness. It's like, when you get to the stage of ruchi, it's all this hard work you've done. Now you've earned the right to taste Krishna consciousness. It was like so many years you've chanted your rounds you didn't taste. Maybe you've done service, you weren't tasting it. You sat through Bhagavatam classes where you were bored. You've read Prabhupada's books and sometimes not shown interest, but you pushed yourself. But when you get to the stage of ruchi, there's the payoff. Because now it's like a business you've started, and now the business is starting to profit. Your realizations are much, much deeper. Everything is, you're being impacted by Krishna consciousness so much in the stage of ruchi that it's so easy to do devotional service. And then we read something today that was like completely amazing. You have to listen to this. It's just so, that the difference between nishta and ruchi is like double. It's double as powerful. When you go from the stage of nishta to the stage of ruchi, it's like your devotional service becomes twice as potent. Isn't that amazing? It's like you just jumped up like another 50% in your Krishna consciousness. So that being the case, we can understand that that's a big thing to get to ruchi. And ruchi is a state which comes from when you're very detached. Well, the taste gives you a detachment, but the attachment gets you to the stage where you can have the taste. And every step that you go up the ladder from Shraddha to Prema, you're getting closer to love. So each step you go up, you're a little closer to loving Krishna. There's a little more affection there. There's a little more attachment. Everything that's on the higher stages, the love, the ecstasy, the attachment, the taste, the steadiness, it's all there in lower stages. As you go up, it's just, there's a little bit, and you get a little bit more of it. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Jaiva Dharma explained that the stage of progressing in Krishna consciousness is really, although we say it begins with faith and it matures in prema with complete maturity of faith, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says it begins with bhava and matures with bhava. So it's actually the maturing of bhava, of emotion, attraction for Krishna. So that's what's happening. So every time we advance from one level to another, from bhajana kriya to anartha nivritti to nishta, and then to ruchi, asakti, bhava, we're just coming closer to love of Krishna. A little bit more of that love is sprouting. But when you get to bhava, it actually sprouts. That's where it happens. So attachment to the person. When you're becoming asakti, you're becoming attached to Krishna, just like we're attached to things of this world. Now we're attached to Krishna. But it's just preliminary to love, because the emotion is not strong enough. When the attachment is strong enough, then the emotion, the ecstasy, right? Just like you may feel something for somebody, but when you feel something very strongly for some person, there's a lot of emotion there. Like, I like you, you like me, not a lot of emotion. But we do something where we go through a difficulty together, and we bond, and we almost died, and we save one another. Now there's all this emotion. Right? So there's all this emotion. And when there's all this emotion for Krishna, because Krishna is so beautiful, that emotion is overpowering. And therefore there's symptoms of ecstasy, because you can't deal with it. I was just watching this video, I don't know how I saw it. Something came up, I was watching something on YouTube. Maybe a George Harrison thing. And it showed a concert of the Beatles, and there was a young girl, and she passed out when she saw the Beatles, and there was a picture of a policeman patting her to try to bring her back to consciousness, because she fainted when she saw the Beatles. Isn't that amazing? So if your love or your attachment is so strong, you could faint. So that means like this attachment, when it goes to the next stage of bhava, then it becomes so strong that ecstasies start developing. That's Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. All glories to Prabhupada. Yes?
So in words, just apparently, anartha nivritti seems to have the same meaning of asakti, but
No.
they are completely...
The Nartha Nivritti is just Nartha Nivritti is kind of like you're a diseased person, and the stage of Anartha Nivritti is like you're becoming cured. And Nishta is like, okay, now you can... When I used to get flus and very sick, as I would recover, like a day or two before I was fully recovered, my mother would say, okay, now you can go outside. She wouldn't let me go outside the house. So I wasn't well, but she let me go outside. So Nishta is like, now you're cured.
No, Asakti.
Yeah, I'm bringing you there.
Oh.
Nishta is, now you're cured. There's no, the disease is pretty much gone. It's not going to come back, so you can go outside and your work. But you're still somewhat handicapped. You're not in vital health yet. Asakti is, both Ruchi and Asakti, it's more spontaneous. And it's said that Raganuga Bhakti should not begin until Nishta or Ruchi. Because there has, in order to start meditating on developing the love that one of Krishna's servants have and wanting to develop it yourself, you have to be pretty freed from material desire. So Sakti is, it's a strong attachment to Krishna. Nartha Nivritti is it's more negative. In the stage of Nartha Nivritti, the devotee is often focused on all the things that are wrong and that he's trying to give up, and how bad material attachments are. And you're always talking about how bad everything is, and the material world's bad, and women are bad, and the government's bad, and Trump is bad, and my knee is bad, but it's all mercy because it's bad, because that helps us become detached. Now, Sakti, you're just talking about how wonderful Krishna is. That's different. So it's kind of, yeah. So thank you everyone for watching. We were giving a class on Ustream, and it wasn't broadcasting well, and then we switched over just to test it out on Facebook Live. So it seems like Facebook Live is the way to go. So India time every Saturday and Sunday night, 6 o'clock India time, which is 8:30 America on the East Coast, a.m., and then every Monday at 2:45 India time, which is, you'll have to figure out what time that is for you. In America, I think it's midnight or something. I think we'll start broadcasting on Facebook, because it's easier for people and more people will watch it. Yeah. How long is tasteless mechanical chanting? Am I too sinful? Until you come to the stage of Ruchi, tasteless mechanical chanting, you depend on Krishna's mercy. You just have to make an effort and really appreciate the holy name. And yeah, it'll come by mercy, but ultimately it comes when you come to the stage of Ruchi. If you want to hear the class we just did, it should be on Ustream. If you go to Ustream and then just put in my name, it should be there. And if it isn't, then I've recorded it, and it will come up audio on my SoundCloud and website someday when I get around to putting it up. But I think it pretty much it's on Ustream now. So I have to go. I actually have a meeting. Although my phone rang, which means they could have canceled the meeting. So anyway, but next Saturday, why don't you join us? 6 o'clock India time, which is like, I don't know, like noontime in England, and 8:30 East Coast of the U.S., 5:30 in California. When I'm chanting, I remember Prabhupada more than anyone. Is it okay? I heard a story. Maybe we could verify this story. Someone was chanting to a picture of Prabhupada. I mean, I like to chant. I like to chant to Prabhupada, Murti, pray. And Prabhupada said, why are you chanting? Why are you chanting to a picture of me? You should chant to Krishna. So, sometimes we chant to Prabhupada to pray, to be Krishna conscious. So like that. You know what I mean? So you pray to be Krishna conscious. That's okay. So, we'd like to stay with you all longer, but we have to go. So, today is Monday. So, so we'll have a class Saturday. Maybe someday we'll have class every day. I don't know. I'm reading every morning, but I could just read to you. We can talk about that. I'm kind of being a Babaji lately. I'm just reading in the morning and writing. Yes, Brisbane. We're coming to Brisbane. We're going to try to share whatever we can with the devotees. And yeah, I think one of the main lessons that we get from a study on the stages of bhakti, of how is you don't get the taste until you give up the desire to taste matter. You don't get the taste for spirit. So it's like you have this taste in your mouth, and I say, I have this really delicious preparation. I'd like you to taste it. And you say, okay, and I say, but you have to take out what's in your mouth. And you say, no, I don't want to take it out. No, but you won't be able to taste this properly. So we're trying to taste material, and then we can't taste the spiritual. So we cheat ourselves in the name of being happy. We don't get the real happiness. And another thing that's really important to understand is the stage of ruchi. It's a climax in your devotional service. So when you have taste, then everything you're doing is being impelled by taste, not by have to. You know, like, I don't have to eat spinach. I like it. I want to eat it. Make it, please. I'll eat it. So in the stage before that, everything is impelled. Why do I get up in the morning? Because I'm supposed to. Why do I chant my rounds? Because I'm supposed to. It's all rules, because the rules and regulations are there, because I promised, and so on. When you're on higher stages, you really don't even have to take vows, because it's impelled by your taste. Even, like liberated devotees don't have to get initiated. There's no need. They're already achieved the goal. And so, like a vow is because I don't have the taste. But once you get to the stage of ruchi, then everything is impelled by your taste. So devotional service is natural, it's easy, there's no force. And it's not that you don't do everything, but you still do it, you still follow the rules, but the difference is you follow them because you want to. So you still chant, you still read, you still rise early, you're still clean. But you're doing it because you want to, not because you have to. Does that make sense? Hare Krishna. Gurunisha says she wants me to listen. Daily classes. Hare Krishna. Yeah, but it's not going to work for you in Australia, because I read it. I start reading maybe like 5 in the morning. At 5 in the morning? No, that will work for you in Australia, because that'll be, yeah. Anyway. Can you see me, sitting on my bed, put my camera on my bed while I read at 5 in the morning? I don't know. Maybe. Let's think about it. That'd be fun. It's good for you in Australia, huh? Okay. I have to run because we're having a meeting now, and it's about 10 minutes away. And the meeting starts in 10 minutes. It's nice seeing you all. And I think it's better we do classes on Facebook, because there's more people wandering around on Facebook. And it seems to be working. So, Hare Krishna to all of you. Now I have to figure out how to turn it off. Okay. Let's see how you turn it off. No, that just turned it around. No. We don't know how to turn it off.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it looks like it's turned off. Okay.
Sure, let me check.
Hare Krishna.
Yes,
Well, or
simply
it's
touching there.
or it's turned
The
around.
video.
Are we still on? I don't know.
Let me check. No?
Not on? We're off?
Yes. Simply touching there.
Oh wow, man, so much better.